Good evening everyone, welcome to Hebites. My name's Heb. So today I'm going to be talking to you about why I think you should be tracking your net worth and how you can do it. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to be using an Excel spreadsheet that I've created. It's super easy to use and you can download it in the description below. So let's get to it. So before we get started, this is my first ever video and right now I have exactly 0 subscribers. So if you find this useful, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and leave me any feedback that you have in the comments below. So your net worth is the single most important financial statistic that you have to measure your financial success, and the act of calculating it is a great way to evaluate your overall financial health. So there's loads of reasons why you should track it. The number one reason being that it's the first step to taking control of your finances. Once you've done it, you'll know exactly where you are, what you have and what you owe at any given time. So having a tracker also allows you to monitor your progression over time and make sure that you're moving in the right direction. The transparency that it gives you allows you to adjust and reassess what you're doing with your money to help you reach your financial goals. As it has with me, it'll probably also prompt you to be a bit more careful with your money and give you motivation to save more, as you'll want to see improvements over time. So it also gives you the opportunity to streamline your finances. So maybe you've accrued multiple savings accounts or credit cards that could all be consolidated into one. So I know my girlfriend has about 6 savings accounts, although she likes to have different accounts for different purposes. I couldn't deal with that, and it makes tracking it a lot more difficult as you have to log into multiple websites and check all your balances. Let's start by defining what net worth actually is. It's really simple. It's just the sum of all your assets, which is the stuff you own, minus the sum of all your liabilities, which is the stuff you owe, or your debts in other words. Therefore, the first step to go about calculating it is to write a list of all your assets and liabilities. Assets can be broken down into a few main categories, being cash, bonds, cryptocurrencies, equities, properties, commodities, pensions, and other stuff like high value items. Cash includes your current account, any savings accounts you have, including cash ISAs, and any physical cash if you happen to have 10 grand stuffed under your mattress for whatever reason. Bonds, these could include municipal or corporate bonds. If you're not sure what these are, I'm not going to explain it in this video, but I'm sure most UK viewers will know about premium bonds, which is a type of municipal bond. Cryptocurrencies, I'm sure most people have heard of these, and here you would list the balance of any wallets or accounts you have. Then we have equities, which are basically stocks and shares, and I would also include funds under this category. The easiest way is to note the total value of any accounts you have with brokerages, for example, or stocks and shares ISA that you might have. Property, if you own a house or some land or a unit, you would list the estimated value here. Then commodities, this includes precious metals if you own some gold bullion or something like that, or the value of any accounts you have on the commodities market. Then we have pensions, which could be a workplace pension or maybe a personal pension. Usually providers have online accounts that allow you to view the balance or the value at any time. Finally, there's the other category for anything that doesn't fit into the above but has a value worth noting down. So this will likely be high value items like a car or a fancy painting that you might own. So now we'll move on to liabilities, and these are basically any debts that you have. So you might have a student loan, you might have a car loan, you might have a credit card, or you might have a mortgage. Now that I've explained to you what the different types of assets and liabilities are, I am going to show you an example that I've created and prepared already. So let's move on to that. So in this example, I've input 4 years worth of data for an imaginary person. It's all made up numbers and made up assets. I mean, some of them are real things, but the data is all made up. So this person, imaginary person, they've got their current account, savings account, and cash ISA. They've got premium bonds. They've got some cryptocurrencies. They've got a stocks and shares ISA. They have a property that they purchase later on, and they have a car, a Honda Civic, just a random car. They have some gold, a workplace pension, and they open a self-invested personal pension a bit later on as well. And in terms of their liabilities, they've got a student loan, a credit card, they get a mortgage later on when they purchase a house, and they have a car loan. So you'll see that the value of the car, the Honda Civic, is £18,000. I think that's probably roughly what a newish Honda Civic costs. And they have a car loan of £15,000, so they put £3,000 towards this car. So the first thing you'll notice about this person is their net worth at the beginning is negative. This is quite common or more common than you might think, especially for people who are straight out of university or higher education, who have a high amount of debt, or maybe a credit card and a student loan, and not a lot of assets, only a little bit of savings and some other stuff that they might have inherited or just accrued over time. And obviously this isn't a good thing. I know it's a common thing for a lot of people, but your aim should be to get out of this situation as quickly as possible. So what this means is if you were to sell all of your assets, you'd still have debt. You wouldn't be able to pay off all your debts by selling all your assets. So if you're in this situation, then try your best. I know it would be difficult, but try your best to get out of it by saving and paying off your debts as much as you can each month. So as you'll see, this person's quite a diligent saver. They're saving £200 a month in their savings account, and they're also contributing towards a workplace pension and saving some money into a stocks and shares ISA. They're saving £200 a month in their savings account, £200 a month-ish into their stocks and shares ISA, and £500 a month into their workplace pension, which might sound like quite a lot, but you've got to remember that employers generally contribute towards workplace pensions. So if you make the most out of that and get the maximum out of your employer, you can save quite a bit of money quite quickly. They're also paying off their debts each month. So they're paying off their student loan, they're paying off their credit card, and they're paying off their car loan. As you'll see, their net worth increases quite rapidly. This line here, this row here, shows the increase each month. So they're actually managing to increase their net worth by over £1,000 each month. After a year, this person starts paying into a self-invested personal pension, £50 a month. If we go a bit further, you'll see this person buys a property. So they've bought a property worth £190,000, and obviously they haven't bought it outright. They've got a mortgage of £180,000. So that means they put down a £10,000 deposit. And that £10,000 has come out of their savings account, so they've used all of their savings and also some of their stocks and shares to make up that £10,000 deposit. So overall, their net worth is not really affected; it just continues as it has done the previous months. In reality, probably your net worth will probably actually decrease slightly when you buy a house because of the fees associated with solicitors and things, and agents' fees, which are very expensive. So they start again from scratch with their savings, essentially £200 a month. So let's go a bit further. In the middle of the July 2017, I've said this person inherits £10,000. So that's a nice boost to their net worth. And we'll keep going. You'll see December 2017, their cryptocurrency value is now at £8,000. I've tried to make this realistic because this is about the time when cryptocurrencies had their explosion. And as you'll see, that quickly crashes to hardly anything, which I think is quite realistic. So we keep going a bit further and we get to the end. So by the end of 4 years, this person's net worth is now £62,000. So let's have a look. I plotted this on a graph so you can see the progression over time. So they started off at negative 20 something thousand. By the middle of 2016, they've broken even, they're worth zero. In the middle of 2017, they get a nice little boost in inheritance, and their value, net worth, continues to increase as you would hope. So this is what you want to see, and this is why it's nice to fill this in each month and watch your progression over time. So I recommend doing this monthly. It can take a little while to do if you've got a lot of different accounts and you need to check balances and things, probably around half an hour. So I probably wouldn't recommend doing it any more than monthly because it can take a little bit of time. However, I do recommend doing it the same time each month. So I generally do it the day after payday because otherwise it can look a little bit inconsistent if you do it 1 month the day before payday and then the next month the day after payday, when you generally have more money in your account. It can look a bit strange. So to keep it consistent, do it on the same day each month. So I've made a separate video explaining how to use this spreadsheet and just to show you how to set it up for the first time and what the functions are. You could of course make your own spreadsheet. It's very easy to do. So you just list all of your assets and then list all of your liabilities and then do the sum of all your assets minus the sum of all your liabilities, and there you have your net worth. On the third tab here, I've also got a pie chart that shows you your asset distribution. You can see if you have a disproportionate amount of one asset compared to others. It's good to have a fair bit of cash as an emergency fund. They recommend you have 6 months worth of your salary as an emergency fund in case you lose your job or there's some sort of family emergency or something. So it's always good to try and build up 6 months worth of your salary in cash savings for emergencies. So if this video has been helpful to you, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and of course I welcome any feedback in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye!